Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mention It All podcast. I am so excited to be joined today by two stars of the hottest show on Hulu that is back for a second season. I know you've been binging it all weekend. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is back, and here we have Jessi and Layla in the studio. How's it going, ladies?
So good. How are you?
I am so good now that this show is back.
Same.
We've been chatting a little bit before we started that this show in the fall came out, and I feel like they had heard a little bit about it. It was like, okay, we have some background info on this group on MomTok. What is the show going to be? And it was like a runaway train.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about it. People in my life that are not like reality TV lovers were like, I think I gotta watch this show.
No way.
What is it like for you guys coming out of season 1? I know you got back into filming really quickly for season 2.
Yeah.
What was it like sort of in that moment when it was like, wait, now like everybody knows who we are?
It was so weird. Like, I think the first time it hit me was we went to the Sabrina Carpenter concert in November.
That was a crazy
right
night.
after the show aired, like a couple months later, and it turned into a full meet and greet because it was like 6 of us, and people noticed, and it was like we couldn't even get to our seats. We were like so late, and it was like so surreal that many people were lining up to meet us overnight. So that was the moment where I was like, oh, people watched this. Like, oh.
I think we always had this like running joke in our group too, that we were like, oh, we feel like we're just filming like a home movie and no one's gonna ever see this. So I feel like when it finally came out and then we're like, wait, it's like doing good, and then we're like #1, and we're like, then we have fans. I just feel like it's like so surreal, and I don't think that I personally am ever gonna get used to this. It's just such a pinch me moment, and I feel like we're all just so grateful that we're here.
For the two of you, like, you both have young kids. You both are, living in this community in Utah. Like, was there what was the decision process like to sign up for the show in the first place? And then once it kind of blew up, knowing like, okay, I'm on this roller coaster, like, we're gonna see it through and do more seasons.
I think for me, like, Macy was the one who referred me to the show, and I was just like, sure. Like, I just say yes to everything. I'm like, I gotta try everything once. And my whole family has always joked that I was like gonna be on reality TV no matter how it happened. So I was like, yeah, it's meant to be. So for me, it just felt natural. And then when it kept going, it was just like, okay, I guess it's happening. I just feel like we've been like writing it as it's been going, like, without much thought, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I've been a part of like MomTok since way back, since 2022. So when I was presented, I wasn't with the original group that was in the pilot, but then when they started to recast, that's when they brought on me, Jessi and Jen. I was like, no brainer. Like, I've kind of like been in this group. I know these women pretty well, and it just kind of felt like natural, especially for me at that point in my life. That's when I just barely separated from my ex. So I was like, this is going to be perfect for me. This is exactly what I need to kind of like take my mind off of it. I never thought it would get to this level that it did, but it's crazy.
I think it's so interesting with your group. You talk about kind of like bringing in a few more people, and you were referred by Macy. Like, it really feels like it's a big group, and sometimes, it's hard to really like feel like you're getting to know everybody equally. But like, I really feel like watching the first few episodes of season 2, it's like everybody kind of plays their role in the group. And I do feel like it's like if there were 2 of you were missing, it would be like, oh, I wish there was somebody that was a little more like offering their thoughts on this, or I wish that this group scene had a little bit of this energy. Like, it does feel like the ensemble really is like gelled together in a way that just
it works.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like, we all have a role to play, and I'm excited for season 2 because I think you get to know each of us a little bit more individually. Whereas season 1, you're just getting to know us, and now we can dive deeper.
And I think there, like with season 1, there also is, for people that don't live in Utah, aren't, don't know a lot of LDS people. It's like, there is that kind of like cultural curiosity, I guess.
Yeah.
But in season 2, it's like, oh yeah, these are our friends.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Good. No, I love that.
I'm glad you feel
that
way.
It's like, okay, like, cut to the chase. We're back in there.
We're back with the dirty sodas. Like, come on.
People were fascinated by that.
No, it was so weird because that's just normal to us,
That's just our coffee in Utah. So when people are like so fascinated we put cream in our coffee, we're like, what do you mean? It's just cream.
Yeah, I think I had ended up on like Swig TikTok like a few years back. So I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
You knew. Yeah, you were
You're already
with
with
the cool
it.
kids,
MomTok just like became this like entity, like the whole like, will MomTok survive this thing after season 1? I really feel like it's an interesting like dynamic to add to. There's lots of like ensemble shows with women living their lives, but like the specific sort of like sisterhood that you guys have, and the question of like who really is buying into that, like I think it adds a unique element to the show in a cool way. What has it been like for you guys, like as a group, sort of navigating the last year?
I think it's cool for us because I feel like genuinely we're a group of women that are friends, and there's definitely friendships that have like come and gone, and definitely friendships that have been tested. But I think when it comes down to it, I feel like we're showing genuine relationships that aren't linear, and we have ebbs and flows, but it's normal for friendships. And I feel like it's just cool to have different dynamics and just show all of that. I think it's pretty cool. And I feel like genuinely we're all moms that can lean on each other and relate when we're going through hard things in our marriages and things like that. And it's just kind of cool to have kind of just like a community.
Yeah, and filming reality TV isn't easy on any relationship or friendship. So we've all had our ups and downs, but I think showing that you can get through those is important. Like, we've had arguments and, you know, we've worked it out on TV, which is great.
Which
but
is awesome.
I feel like that's a testament of true friendship, and it can be an example to like people watching.
Yeah. I think it's been interesting, like at the beginning of the season, Miranda sort of comes back around the group. Obviously, she and Taylor had this really complex relationship in the past, and you know, you guys all have your own history with her, but it does feel like sort of there's a group effort to sort of figure out her intentions and all of that, but then also each person has their own opinion and their own approach to something. And like I can't remember who it was, but somebody was like, oh, like, Jessi, why were you going easy on her? And you're like, I didn't think I was going, you know?
Yeah. And it's hard too, because someone comes in, and even if like there's opinions, like you're still feeling bad when it's like 6 people against 1, you know? So it was hard because I think we each handled it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to Miranda. She was consistent, and she played the long game, and she was patient and kind of like fought her way into the group slowly.
She was very patient.
She wore us down.
With the comments and things like that, she did it really well.
Yeah.
Layla, do you feel like, so obviously like she's gone through you know, her marriage, you know, isn't a thing anymore. Like, do you feel like you being one of the other people in the group that has experienced that, like, was there sort of an inkling of like, okay, maybe we can connect over this?
No, absolutely. I think being a single mom, especially in Utah, is such an isolating experience. Dating there in general is just a shit show. And then add on being like a single mom and then being in this experience. We are able to like relate to each other on different levels and kind of talk about things that sometimes the other girls don't get. And especially like dating on the show as well. That's something that like I've experienced now, and like maybe she could experience down the road as well, that it's super hard. So I'm glad that we kind of like have each other to like lean on in that aspect. I mean, I guess there's Taylor, but she's with Dakota. So is she single? Is she not single? I don't know. Honestly,
we never know.
I don't think Taylor knows on a daily basis where that's at.
Every hour it's different.
It is like, it's tough to watch because obviously like as a viewer, there's an element of like, oh, yay, like we love drama, we love people arguing, but like watching like Taylor and Dakota and Jen and Zac at certain points too, it is like, it's bittersweet because you're like, okay, they have like this baby.
Yeah, they have kids.
There's
hard.
a long road of figuring out what this looks like, whether you're together or not, co-parenting, all of that. It's like, it must be for you guys too also kind of hard to really like watch that.
It is, especially when you see the good and the bad, and you're like, we're fighting for you, but also like you should be done. Like, it's so hard to decide like which side to pick, but you know, we're just rooting for them. They're doing the best they can. I think the real question is like, will Dakota survive? Not will MomTok survive.
No, literally.
And should it survive?
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part.
At this point, I feel like we know that there's definitely the women in the group that have their very strong opinions towards Dakota, Macy. But those opinions are valid, especially with her past circumstances that kind of make her feel very strongly towards men in those situations. But I think, just like Jessi said, at the end of the day, if Taylor wants to be with him, kudos to her. Awesome. If she doesn't want to be with him, awesome. Like, I think we're here to support her no matter which way. I think just we want her to be happy and good behavior to be shown from his end.
I think also it's hard. There's a scene in episode 2 where it's like Taylor's mom has everyone over, including Dakota, and it's like, it doesn't really feel like Taylor necessarily is getting the support that she would like from her family. And I think that's hard too, because like you want to feel like you can make the right decision for yourself, but also for everyone around you. And if there is that kind of like push and pull, it's like it's hard, really difficult.
Yeah, and your family can be honest with you, which is amazing, but you still want to feel like they are there to support and love you, even if you're making mistakes. So but at least her family can be honest with her, and
sometimes brutal honesty is what someone needs, and it's at that point if they choose to take that advice or to not.
Exactly.
You sort of are getting pulled in with the Jen and Zac.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Did you know? So going into the season, obviously in season 1, everything that went down in Vegas and around that was like very intense with the two of them. Obviously, you had expressed opinions or said stuff back then. Did you sort of know that you were going to get kind of like called to testify in this way going into this?
No, I genuinely just thought, like, in the moment I was just telling my friend how I felt. I didn't think it would lead to like Zac wanting to talk to us and us like unraveling things and figuring out lies on both ends. It was kind of crazy, but I'm glad I said it because I do think she deserved better. And I think that all of us coming down so hard on her opened up a bigger conversation for them to work on things. And I think they have. So that's really good.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like, obviously, when your friend is telling you something, you're going to believe them.
Yeah.
But then if there is a bigger kind of picture to be had, like, you also want to be fair and, make the right judgment call. So I think watching kind of that unfold in the first few episodes, it's like,
okay,
well,
also Zac said things about all of us. I think that's also why we were all so heated.
Yeah.
Because thinking back, I'm like, I probably wouldn't have been like as involved if he hadn't have called out all of us and all of our relationships. Yeah. So I think that's why I was so like, okay,
and then that comment he made to Jen before he left to Vegas, and he's like, well, being single with 2 kids would be hard. And I was like, actually, I would rather be single with 2 kids than be talked down to, actually.
Exactly.
So
or have 3 kids, one being your husband.
Well, I think that's...
I didn't hit me at first. And I was like, I thought you were talking about the 3rd baby now. And then I was like, Zac, 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think it's hard. Like, really, it's important if you're evaluating, like, who you have in your life, who you're trusting, to like read between the lines a little bit. And that if he's making a comment that maybe it's not directed at you, but you can hear it and be like, hey, like, that actually...
Because I feel like it comes down to like he's generalizing a situation like that, and kind of like I feel like the connotation behind it's like negative. Like I feel like that's like shaming all single moms and being like, well, it's like hard, but like there's a lot of reasons why women choose to leave a marriage. Like no one willingly wants to like be a single mom. That is literally, that was my worst nightmare come true. So I feel like when he said that, I was just like, that was kind of a dig at like all single moms out there. So wasn't really happy when I heard that.
Yeah. I think your show, it's like the way that it approaches conversations about sort of, like staying in a marriage, being a single mom, being the breadwinner in a household or in a relationship. Like, I think a lot of people, whether they're, Mormon or ex-Mormon or anybody else, can probably watch it and be like, oh yeah, like maybe that is giving me something new to think about of like how I frame that in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. I heard a lot of people talk about that actually. And I got so many messages from women being like, it's just so cool to see how you're a mom and you work full time and you have a business, and it's just inspiring, which is awesome.
And none of us are trying to be a spokesperson that like, we're like, you need to make the money and like, you need to be like the in charge of your household. I think we're just trying to, just like you said, like generalize that conversation that like, it doesn't have to be on paper what it's supposed to be like in the church.
Well, I mean, in the premiere, I think Michaela, who I would say is kind of like the most traditional of all of you guys, at least she comes across that way. I don't know. She's like, I make more in one brand deal than my husband does in a year. It's like, hell yeah.
No, seriously, she makes good money.
She does.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her, and her content's great.
I think that was interesting. A lot of people watching season 1 that maybe hadn't seen you guys on social media or weren't aware of kind of the background, sort of discovering it's like, wait, this is like a thing.
Yes, it's crazy. And I think people are also curious about influencer lifestyles, like brand deals and making money on social media and stuff. And it can get a lot of backlash because I think people like don't understand it. But I think it was cool to kind of showcase that like those are our jobs, and I have businesses too, but like I also do brand deals, and we've been able to sustain our families on that.
Yeah.
So you throw a Halloween party in the beginning of this season. You made some interesting choices with the guest list.
I know.
So we had Miranda was invited. Yeah. Miranda's ex Chase was invited.
Messy Jessi.
Taylor and Dakota were both there. Like, talk me through kind of like how you approached hosting that event, and then sort of obviously some things go down.
And honestly, like going into it, I just thought like maybe people will be a little uncomfortable, but like we're adults, like it'll be fine. Right. No idea it was going to go that way. Obviously Taylor was always going to be invited. And then my husband's best friends with Dakota. So there was no world he was not going to have Dakota there. So that's how that happened. And then one of my good friends was dating Chase. So I invited her name's Kate, and she's bringing Chase as a +1. I couldn't tell her like, no, you can't bring him. So I was like, it'll be fine. And then Miranda, I felt bad. Like everyone was kind of ganging up on her. She clearly wanted to come back into the group. So I felt like it would be mean to only exclude her, because, you know, she's trying, and I just felt really bad. And I didn't have a personal experience with her in the past, so I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But I guess that was like a recipe for disaster. Like her ex-husband, who's also hooked up with Layla. Does it say that in the show?
Oh yeah, I think you say like a month or two that you guys were seeing each other.
Yeah, we saw each other for like a month. I feel like there's a stigma that I only just like slept with him one night. Like no, we were like seeing each other for like
That's crazy.
a month-ish, and then it just like didn't work out, which is totally fine. Then he started dating Kate right after. But I know I feel like there's like the stigma that it was just like a one night stand. I'm like, no, actually, like he would like take me on dates and stuff like that. But like, yeah, definitely an
swung
interesting.
with Taylor, dated Layla, married Miranda. Like it's so
How
crazy.
extreme about
No,
Honestly, probably.
Yeah, no, I think also like when you're filming a show, there is an added layer where it's like we saw a scene before that with Dakota and Taylor where they're in this really intense place, but like you don't know that when you're like making the guest list for your Halloween
and
party.
They're different every other day. Like
That's
if it had been the next day, they probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
So
Right. Well, and even going into that event, Miranda says that like she and Chase are in a good place, and they have like they've been working on their co-parenting relationship, and so like it kind of just feels like a perfect storm of like all of these ingredients. And then there's like, Chippendales dance going on.
Yeah, that was like the cherry on top. I thought that was going to be the most dramatic. It's crazy that something else happened. That night, we always like talk about it. We're like, it feels like a fever dream. Like, did that actually happen?
Actually, it was so funny. I think like our producers in the back just like jumping up and down like, this is so good. This is so good.
I'm sure they were stoked. Yeah. And none of that was like premeditated.
No,
it just unfolded.
It's just get us all in one room together with exes and new girlfriends, and just like there's bound to be shit to happen.
Yeah, I think it's like going into season 2, I feel like that's sort of, you've laid the groundwork for a lot of those relationships. And so it's like then you can kind of, like you said, just like put everyone in a room and like let it
and it was the only way the truth was going to come out too, because like Miranda was like still holding back a little bit. We know Chase is going to tell us how he feels, so I was like, let's just like let it all out and see what happens.
Honestly.
And I think like getting a little bit like something like your husband being close with Dakota is something that maybe in season 1 you wouldn't really like pick up on that, but it's important context, because it's not just like, oh, Dakota's here because we're on a TV show and it is like good for drama. It's like it's like no, like this community really has that like interconnected.
Like some people will think like, oh, they're just friends for the show. Like no, we are truly integrated in each other's lives, and so regardless if there was a show or not, it probably would have been the same dynamic. So
The one person who was not there because she was literally having a baby was Whitney.
I don't know if she would have been invited either, to be honest. So
Whitney going into this, I mean, season 1, like Whitney got a lot of heat from I think people on and off the show.
Yeah.
From your perspective, seeing her kind of come back around this season, knowing that like it did not go great for her the last time. Like how did you kind of like decide to handle that, knowing that obviously she was going to be at least somewhat present?
I think it was, I don't know. I think it was hard because it's like, this is such an isolated experience and it's hard to like broadcast it to the world. And I remember like we would talk on our group chat sometimes when people would like make fun of her for like the toilet paper shoe thing and stuff like that. And like, we're humans. We're not just going to be like laughing at like one of our like friends at one point.
In the group, I think we all were like, that was sad. Like,
yeah, no, we were all bad. Like, this actually like, this kind of sucks. So I think like I was open to like kind of hearing her out, and like we definitely had like our feelings towards it. But I think at the end of the season, she kind of won me over in a way. I feel like she kind of did a good job to me
in season 2.
Yeah, but I can't speak for all the girls. I know McKay definitely will
was there
still
a scene
feel the
of
way.
Michaela at the diner with her? With Whitney?
Maybe.
Okay, so because I remember like when she first started coming back around, me and Michaela were like pretty stern with her.
Yeah.
We were like, no, you know, you can't just like leave and come back. But then, yeah, as time went on, she kind of softened us, and she was really consistent, and she was trying really hard. So we were like, okay, and she came back. So you'll see how that unfolds. But I think everyone deserves to like say their side of the story and like get a second chance.
You don't want to be so severe with her to the point where you almost go in the other direction. It's like now I'm the one who's being, you know, the gatekeeper for no good reason, when she's actually been trying really hard for the last, 2 months to get in my good graces. Like it really is almost like a day by day evaluating, like, okay, like, is it a genuine effort being made? Is
and
it
if she
enough?
makes the same mistakes, then okay, condemn her. But if she's truly changing, then you got to let them,
Yeah. And that's like, knowing that we have a lot of episodes to work on. Like you can't just shut things down right away.
No, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the rest of the season.
I know. I think other people will be watching it like by the time this comes out, and so you'll be hearing a lot of feedback, I'm sure.
I know, we don't know yet because it's like still a few days away. So
we'll see if everyone else.
I'm so curious. Like, so we're recording this like right before it comes out, and then obviously people will be binging, people will be catching up. I'm sure your like comment sections and DMs and everything will be popping. Like, what is your mindset now that you've done it once before in season 1 that people are going to have a fresh batch of content to react to?
One of the best things I've ever heard was that like you're going to have a bunch of people that are going to love you and you're going to have a bunch of people that are going to hate you, and you kind of have to focus on neither one of them, because if you focus too much on the love, it gets to your head. If you focus on the hate, you can like bring yourself down really bad. So I feel like just like everyone is going to feel both ways about you, and you just kind of have to silence both of them out for a little bit.
None of it's real.
I think at the end of the day, people in your personal life know you at your core, and I feel like yes, you can watch the show and kind of gather a little bit about somebody from it, but at the end of the day, that's not their whole entire life, and you're seeing a very, very small glimpse of them. So I think just remember who you are is what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I feel like our engagement's always pretty crazy right after the show comes out. So just knowing, we're going to get good comments and bad comments. And I'm like, maybe I'll delete social media for a week or two and just like not read anything, because you never know like what the reaction's going to be. But we're excited. I mean, I think it was a really good season. So I'm excited to see people's thoughts.
MomTok will survive this, but maybe your screen time will be a little lower.
Yes, I'm like, maybe I won't survive this. We'll see.
We'll survive. It was so funny in the fall. Like I was getting all of the like hairstyling videos on my algorithm, and all of the comments of people being like, I don't live in Utah and I have never gotten hair extensions. Why did I just watch this whole video?
It's weird that took off, or like the Fruity Pebbles, the swig, like little things that we didn't think were main storylines, obviously. It just took off in the culture. It was crazy.
It was crazy. The blue coat. Just things like that.
The Halloween costumes.
Wait, you guys have a very fun new intro for this season that you filmed. There's getting out of the water.
A lot sexier. We ditched the temple.
What was the shoot for that like? Because I have to imagine it was like kind of cold and
it was
maybe a little funny.
Well, we were in this like warm, but it wasn't even hot. It was like a lukewarm
mud bath.
Almost.
We're like dipping our hair. I'm like, hey, do we look good still? Like whipping our hair around. Like I'm sure it looked actually really crazy behind the scenes, but
I was home for Mother's Day and I watched the season premiere with my mom.
Oh, nice.
And it's funny because she's not a reality TV person really, but like obviously whenever I'm around, she like dabbles, and she had so many questions.
Oh my gosh, coming in
she was
season
like, why?
2,
She was like, why are they wet? Their hair is so long. What is this show? What is MomTok? What is
like, Mom, we gotta start with season 1.
You're like, we gotta rewind.
I'm like, so she is with her, and then they have it's
yes. You're like, I gotta break it down.
Her jaw's just on the floor.
Yeah, like that thing that our account posted, like the whiteboard, and it like, did you see that?
Oh yeah, we like draw like strings.
She's gotta watch that because it like catches you up on what happened in season 1.
And by the end of season 2, we're going to need a whole nother whiteboard.
Yes.
We're going to need like
3
10
whiteboards. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 10 probably.
Well, congratulations on the new season. I hope everybody's loving it, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thanks for having us. Us too, honestly. Yes. We'll have to come back in like a year from now and compare notes on how we're feeling.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And until next time, be cool, not like all uncool.